Ben, welcome to Business Insider.
Thanks, Mark.
And I think you have the dubious, although I wish I was, honour of being the youngest interviewee today. So welcome to new ground.
Thank you.
We'll go probably lots of places in this discussion, but why don't we start with Blink Mobile Technologies. You are the Chief Technology Officer of that. Can you give us a snapshot as to what you guys are doing?
Okay, well, we're building mobile web apps, so that's an alternative to a native application for mobile phones. And so usually businesses go out and pay 30 odd grand for an iPhone app to be developed, but our system allows it to work on all mobile devices that are internet enabled. So an iPhone app, if someone goes to the expense of building that, will only work on iPhones, which is only about 20% of the market. So if a business or organisation or council or university needs to get the information out to all ratepayers or people, they should choose a solution like ours so it works on all mobile phones essentially.
Okay, so it actually, and your development is faster and broader, obviously.
Yeah, that's right. We built a platform that makes it extremely easy for our clients to build or design, build and deploy mobile web apps without getting approval from app stores and having to wait for the approval. They can essentially make changes that are instantly seen on the mobile device and all devices.
Wow. You're talking to, I think we've discussed my lack of IT savvy, so that sounds pretty cool. How does someone like you get to that point? You're now 25, 26.
26.
Yeah. How did Ben get here?
Lots of hard work, I guess.
Yes.
I grew up on the coast and went to the local high school and managed to get a scholarship to go to the local university. And
see, I just a minute, managed to get a scholarship. What does that mean? You just wrote out an application for? Or?
No, I made sure in year 12 that I actually tried hard and did actually study and get a pretty good UAI. Then applied for the scholarship, in which I was successful. And I was at university for a year, and I was doing too much business on the side anyway. So even though I was getting good marks, I was still making money on nights and weekends, building websites back then, and decided to take a year off just to see how it went, or defer a year. And 7 years later, I'm still in business.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so you went into web development first up?
Yeah, web development, but not so much the pretty side of web development, making it look good, but building core business applications delivered by the web. So databases and communications, so SMS and email communications specific for businesses.
Okay. Interesting. As soon as you say that, and with the passion that you have in your eyes, that's the thing that links you to the much older people that we've had sitting in this chair, and they all believe and just love to go to work and do that sort of stuff. So I see that in you. Is that a major reason why you're still here on the coast? Is because of that passion, and you could have gone anywhere to work, I guess, couldn't you?
Yeah, well, I could have gone down to Sydney to work for a corporate or a larger company and get paid more than I would have been paid in the early years of business. I really worked hard and didn't get paid much for years, and I'm glad I did. Yeah,
actually you did. I think yesterday we talked about this disconnect that a lot of people have as employees. They make a mistake and they're actually paid to make mistakes.
That's one thing that I guess I regret, which is never actually working for someone. So I never actually had the opportunity to be taught by an employer, and if I made a mistake, be paid by the employer to fix that mistake, you know what I mean? Whereas everything I made, all mistakes I made, I had to actually cover.
The only possible thing I could offer you, young man, is that's not a disadvantage. When you actually understand that your decisions have commercial impact on you, I think that's an empowering moment. You know, more Australians need to realise what their bosses go through, which is what you've done. You know, you've never worked for anyone, so you've never taken advantage of anyone. Just maybe it's reflecting my bad my bad approach to life. But you've had to take that. Even now, you're director of Blink Mobile.
Yep,
yeah,
one of the 4 directors.
Okay. If you look back and said, okay, well, what would I change? You know, in Ben's working history, is there anything you look back and say, oh, I wish I'd done that differently? Not necessarily changed it, but
to be honest, no. I mean, I wouldn't be where I am right now. You probably get that response a lot, but
I think it's a cool I love that response. Yeah, people we won't go there. I love your response. You wouldn't be here if you hadn't done the things you've done.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked really hard, as in some days I've literally worked 24 hours straight, as in not sleep, 36 hours straight, just drinking Red Bull. But I needed to do it for, presentations, to corporates of products that we, claimed we had. Maybe we should cut that bit.
No, I share that. No, but that's being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I don't want to encourage mistruths, but anyone who's been there and seen an opportunity and undersold themselves, I don't think gets to where you are. The biggest trouble is overselling and then realising you've actually got to deliver. Yeah. So that's a cool thing. So no, we won't cut that out. So what about the next couple of years? Do you see? Well, no. Let's take 12 months. What do you think next 12 months is going to look like for you?
Well, next 12 months, recruiting lots more people. We've currently got 12 people working for us, but we think we'll be getting 1 or so a month for the next 12 months.
What specifically are they?
They're technical people.
Right.
So actually, over the last 2 years, we've been building up the product. Blink's been around for about 5 years, and Blink's been around for about 5 years. But originally it was just selling SMS solution, and it was targeted at sports clubs and schools, and it allowed them to get information out to their people about closures of games and grounds. But it was sustainable, but not a big money maker. And then when the iPhone came out and really reinvented the mobile device, which then Android and others followed, it allowed us to change our product offering. And over the last 2 years, we've been steadily growing. We've been spending time and money on R&D, so like building out the platform and starting to sell it as of the last 1 year. And I guess the next 12 months will be continuing to get feedback from our customers, employing technical people to help with support and some
Do you advertise for those technical people, or do they knock on your door?
Bit of both. I used to go to the university, as you know, and I've kept in touch with some of the lecturers there. So every now and then I ask if there's any good students we can come talk to. We're actually talking to the students in about a couple of weeks. So we talk to the uni. We also advertise on Seek, and some people come to us. They find us just through Google searches. So yeah.
Excellent. Can a relative? Well, no, you are an experienced, chief technology officer. What gets up your nose? Here's your rant, young man. What would you change? What gets up your nose in a business sense? Yeah.
Well, more about the industry. Attracting female workers, that's a problem. Out of 2 businesses, the original business I was telling you about is still around with about 5 employees, and Blink has 12, so across about 17 employees we have 1 female working for us, and there's just not enough females in IT. When I was there, I think there was 1 female in the whole course, and none are graduating. So, and that's actually a problem when we're selling to some corporates that have, they can't buy from us because they need, a gender ratio that is acceptable. And the problem is, if any female IT graduates come out of uni, they're grabbed by the companies that have those
That
policies. So it's a bit of a problem. So we're doing what we can, but I don't know, I guess more female need to get into IT, and you know, because there's good jobs in there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Indeed, and there's no, obviously the dilemma is they're not going to university, or they're not choosing it at a reasonable ratio. So, yeah.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
So, and we want a, you know, diverse workforce, I guess, and it's a bit hard when there's none of them coming out of uni.
Okay. Interesting. You know, we've got quite a strong university, and you worked hard. I love the comment about, you know, knowing you've got to get a good solid mark, UAI. Got into a scholarship. Will there be a Ben scholarship for female students? And we'll have to do that in a non-sexual oriented way. But do we need to do that to get girls into the industry?
Well, something needs to be done. I don't know if you're allowed to do, you know, gender-specific scholarships. Maybe you are. And it'd look wrong if all the scholarships that were given, if I did give a scholarship, were to females.
You're a very sensitive young man. Yes, indeed. Okay.
But something needs to be done. I think maybe some education in high schools as to the opportunities in IT, and you know, it's not nerdy. It's
you look pretty normal. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the best thing is, nothing is growing faster, other than maybe mining in Western Australia. But this is
there's lots of money to make in IT. You know, the mobile application space that we're in, and not really by accident. You know, we could have sat there just doing SMS, but we saw the opportunity, and that's actually why Alan Williams, one of the early investors in Blink, came on board, because, you know, there was an opportunity. He came in, used his experience from his time in some Silicon Valley companies to come and help, you know, reshape Blink and deliver our new product set.
Fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
A real pleasure talking to you, Ben.
Thank you.
And we've got a couple of tasks. We've got to try and get people trained here on the Central Coast to work with your business. And hey, if one or two of them could be women as well, that would be even better.
Yeah.
So thanks again for your time.